Hosione God, unole tawaton, we blevins, yonigi gente, galeele chiquedo, cohig, nugs, cohine, at the Jalagi, de low costi.
Sio Wade ayaskukalia lik jati le kohiga kele tawato Cherokee to tatatesh kwa kohiga.
So we're super happy to have Miss Kathy Kailat back with us today. So, as you know, in the last one, we talked a little bit about her new adventure. And so I'm so excited for not just for her, but also for our Cherokee people. I think this is really going to be a wonderful thing. The more things we have to offer people for language, I think the better off we are.
Ayasku.
Yeah. So today on our agenda, we're going to continue with our little story about the Enud for our reading, and then we'll continue on with the story about Tojuwa Sikwanid and learn a little bit more about what he was up to and what he did. So, so come, Idalena, talagi idewoni.
Hawa.
All right, so our reading comprehension today is this little story about the Enad, and I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but would you like to read through it? You can read super slow, and that way we can follow along with you, and until we get to the new part, and then we'll discuss the new part a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Uwodu hi una chate inata. Kohige tige sa I he gano hildo hi nika I gahus tino a hyohi he osta agiste aga lujiga. Sagu iga ia isa jisqua ju yola I. Ugo he no usti ina gana ganke uno no hulti.
That one gets me every time too.
I'll still do that. Uwoduja na je inata. Uwodu unajat ele udate. Nico ste da kana di. Gano hildo hino ule wistane tostane yosis ke de kano di gisquano dunanele ase nuwe nata gu. Hilaskino nunato dagu. Na ia I se gistu de kanehe de kanehe I juyola I ina go he ina da ika na or na ke.
Yeah, ikanke.
Ikanke. Uwodu udate nego stei aseno inahi tasai. Gistu no duna nele hi ano nuwese osio inawe na seno iwe na seno. Llaya no gano hildo ina iu go he ina ta utana na skuke sei.
All right, and so that was the one we did last time, about he saw that the snake was bigger.
Bigger.
He saw him again, and the snake was bigger. All right, so this new one, let's, those of you at home, and we'll read through this together, and we'll see if we can figure this out. So this says, a se no u don di ni gustei ole uyo si ske ni gustei. Okay, so hopefully those of you at home, most of these words you should probably know, or they should at least ring a bell, maybe. If you don't know them, don't worry about it. Don't feel stupid or anything like that, because like I said, we're all at different places in our learning, and we all figure it out at different rates, and that's perfectly fine. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Because even I get my oohs and uhs and nuz all mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, we all struggle, and even, like you said, even first language speakers sometimes struggle, and it's not because they don't know, it's just because, they don't use it every day.
Right.
They don't, and especially reading. I mean, how often do you read in Cherokee?
Right. Right.
Maybe at church and
Yes.
and anymore, a lot of times not even then, or like if you read your Bible at night or something like that. But it's just.
It's not a have-to case, so sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And we should be.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to, or at least for me, it's hard to discipline myself to do something I don't have to do.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. So we're telling you this just to tell you, don't beat yourself up for it. The fact that you're even sitting here listening to this is a step forward.
Right.
Right. Anyway. So, aseno, if you don't know, the word aseno means but, right? Udonti, we've talked about that word, udonti. That word is an interesting word, I think, because it can mean like friendly, but it's also related to the word for heart, right?
Yes.
And to me, it also sounds very similar to the word to know as well, like to your mind and that kind of thing. And so I think to me that's interesting how all that's connected.
It all goes back to how you say the word and how you pronounce your vocabulary.
Yeah,
because it's just that way in Cherokee.
Yeah. So can you tell us this? Okay, so we'll go on and then we'll come back. Okay, so nigostai, that means to seem, right? Nigostai.
It seems like.
So he seemed friendly, right? Ale and uyoshiske, hungry. Nigostai, he seemed hungry, right?
Yes.
So can you say the word udonti as friendly?
Udonti.
Okay, and then how would you say heart?
Udonto.
Udonto. Okay, and no, that doesn't.
And the word to know, ute.
Ute, yeah. Yeah. And to me there-there's a relation there somehow,
Yeah.
And I find that really interesting that in Yoneg, knowing and feeling about something are different things, but in Cherokee they're closer related, at least in language and probably in the way we think about things.
Yeah, I think so.
To know in your heart something,
Yeah.
So let's see how close we were. But he seemed nice and seemed hungry. Hey,
Yeah.
we got it. We got that one. Okay. So again, I don't want to put you on the spot. We got more.
Okay.
Who knew, right? Okay, so we'll read through this one. Let's see if we, and before we started airing, we talked about this one word, and this one word I didn't know, and so I asked Miss Kayla, and she didn't know, so we'll just take their word for it that that's what it is. And maybe through the course of talking about it, it'll come to us and it'll be like, oh, that's what they're talking about. So, gano hile donhi. And during lunch we were talking about that. You know, today in today's Cherokee we usually say gano hali donhi for hunter, right? Because gano hili don is like he's flying around, and it's like somebody that's flying. But or gano hali don. But anyway, in this case, in the story, it's a hunter. Gano. A lot of times we say gunny today. De gan hei. He was carrying them.
De cane hei.
He was carrying a turkey, right? Ule huistane. He stopped, right? Unanele. He gave it to him, gave him one thing, because otherwise it'd be dunanele, right? He gave him more than one thing. So he gave him one turkey, enod, the snake, gana, turkey. And then here's the weird word. This says kawog, or kawogi. I looked it up in the Cherokee dictionary because when in doubt, I always look.
So it says in gana kawog. It must have been. I wonder if it was a part of the turkey.
Oh, maybe kawog.
Get the kawog.
Dohele. Oh, the one like that he brought. Can you say it again? Kanog. Ah. Oh, I bet that kawog, because in the translation, we'll tell you guys, in the translation that's on it, it says the hunter was carrying some turkeys. He stopped and gave the snake a turkey gobbler. And so maybe that's how they translated gobbler, because to gobble is to make a sound, right? So maybe that's, see, sometimes it takes a village for us to figure out, sometimes it takes a village for us to figure out, you know, what they were thinking whenever it's another speaker doing the writing. Sometimes it takes us a little while to decipher what was going on in their head, you know, and so sometimes it takes several of us. I know back in the days when I used to work for JOM, there were 3 of them, and they would, you know, all because it was Miss Sue and Miss Alice and Miss Peggy. And, you know,
Trying to decipher the Cherokee out.
Yeah, trying to figure it out, you know, because it really is, it's interesting to me how, it's not so much in speaking, but in writing, it's very much getting kind of a glimpse into how that speaker thinks and how he or she.
That, and then trying to decipher how they spoke a long time ago, too.
Yeah, because this was
the
back
old
in
stories.
the 50s and 60s that this was written.
Sometimes the word changes.
Yeah, it does change. Hang on just a second. My alarm is going off, so I need to turn it off so it's not making noise.
Gano hildoi gana.
Kawog.
Una nela inata. Gana kawog.
Kawog. Yeah,
It's
starting to make more sense. You say it enough, and it starts to make sense, right?
Yeah. Because it could have been kano, just like Phyllis said, kanog.
Kanog.
He brought.
Yeah.
Who knows?
To Kanog, the one that he brought. So different ways to think about it. But anyway, for the speaker that translated this and wrote this, it was obviously in his mind important enough that he put it in there that way, you know. But would it make sense if you left that word completely off?
Yeah.
I mean, it would still get the same idea across.
Yes.
But like I said, in the translation, in the official translation of the story, it says a turkey gobbler, you know, because it says turkey in the beginning, and then it says the turkey gobbler, you know.
And it could be that.
Yeah. So, and I've also heard the word galagin for a male turkey, but I've also heard galagin for something else. It's a word for something else.
And I can't think of it. Cleawant. No, it's a Cleawant.
But it's a male. Is it a male deer? Like a buck?
Yeah, with the yes,
Yes.
because it has the racks on it. That's
Yes.
what they call the that's what it is.
I couldn't think. I was like, I know it's another male
Yeah.
animal, you know. So and again, you know, it's
That's what it is.
yeah, and you know, it's kind of interesting. We're gonna kind of chase a couple of rabbits here, but it's all language related. Somebody asked me, they were not Cherokee themselves. They were actually Seneca Cayuga, but their sister had married a Cherokee, and they were trying to find a Cherokee name for their baby. And they were talking. They said, "Well, how do you say younger brother?" And I was like, I don't know a word for that. And so, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, I do remember like udanilge, you know, like that's to be an older sibling, right?
Utanhilike.
Yeah, udanilge. Because I told her at the time, I said, well, I don't think we have a word for that. And then, but the more I got to thinking about it, I was like, well, I think we do. I just never used it. I never heard it.
That's me too. I just learned that not too long ago myself. The same story you're talking
Really?
about.
Isn't that bizarre? Yeah, and so you know, and I think it has to do with just because as our language communities started to shrink. They talked about fewer things, you know, and then as language started to shrink, or not shrink, but as language started to change, I think speakers just didn't feel it was important to distinguish that way.
I think so too.
You know, because you know, I know the word guidon and jostatanatli and jostatala. You know, I know those words. You know, and those are the words that I
used.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones that I hear. And those are the ones that I've heard growing up. And I didn't know the word udanilage until Benny Smith Jagesa talked about. And to be an older sibling to somebody. And so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So
you just say, okay.
yeah. So we continue to learn daily, right? You know, and it's good to talk to other speakers and to learn, you know, and they're like, well, you know, this is what we say and this is, you know, what this means, and like, oh, okay.
We're still experimenting too with the language kind of.
Absolutely.
Because there was so much like you say, the shrinking of the families and the communities, that it just, that's just the way our language went. But we're getting it all back. We're going to get it all back.
And it's all there, you know, thanks to the wonderful work of speakers that have already passed, and thanks to the work of people like you and Miss Phyllis and Miss Peggy and the people that are currently working in language, you know. It's just incredible to me, you know. So, so anyway, so like I said, I chased a little rabbit there, but it is related.
Yes.
You know, and it's about language, so it's all good. You know. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and read through this. We'll go through it a little quicker, and we'll talk about some new stuff if that's okay with you. Okay. So, but I always want to review with you guys because you cannot hear it enough. You know, if you've heard it enough that you're sick of hearing it, then that means you still probably need to hear it. 5 or 10 more times, and because that means it's getting in there. You're like, oh, I already know what that means. And that's the whole point, right? That's what we want.
It's got to stick in there.
Yeah. He olegis he askaya ayetli jigadog. Ni ole ganyik Redward Smith do don't eh. Told you what sequinid do don't eh jalake gante. Seda ojali helega he in uskeda sky. I changed it in my head.
Yeah.
I didn't change it out here, but I changed it. Sagu iga yul chanel sko it school he sko he u dane told you what sequinid. Kohijik guye gwoni sonne la du sine o jali hele gon udeti yiska klaskin do yoganto do udeti yiska. Toju was sequinid udeti yiska yinustan anigatu wagi ani yanwi yagatiyo ane gon. Gadoke tojuwa sequinid uskejigi. Would you read that sentence for me?
Gadoke tojuwa sequinid uskeda jiki.
Jiki. Okay. Could you say uskejik? Okay. Means same thing. Tojuwa udod pigsmith do don't eh? Sequinid jalagi gante do don't eh? Only Smith ani yoneg do no eh? Arse gotlanerski degese uste. Tojuwa uji Lizzie Hildebrand do don't eh? I jul a jalagi ale a degese. Jalagi uwete di stosk do la stane Lizzie udod.
Okay.
I jul jugayelege uwete jalagi nanda neha do no he hune. Do no he hune. Yeah. That word, for some reason that word trips me up.
A lot of words are like that.
Yeah, I can just sail right through the first part of that sentence, and then I get to that word and I'm like, do no he hune.
Do no he hune.
Believed. Di dana whiskey ge say udod. Di dana whiskey. Medicine person. New day nurse. Before he was born. New day nurse told you what. Aniga yeleke dini na whiskey. Unino sele sequinid tojuwa di datine he nidagalstanisa. He would become that, right? Klaskin he hesti nigalstana. That part I could read. Sequinid unasa agusa sam tojuwa udehoti. To teach, right? Would you say that word, to teach?
Sequinid unasa agusa sami tojuwa udehoti. Should be judehoti.
Judehoti. Juwe hyote. Juwe hyote. Okay. Anoji ayewe ya gese Agu Sasam. He was Nachi. Anoj. Nulstanen ale uweti uni no hetlan ani zalak ani gus ale ani nochi da tahe agusasam. Would you read this sentence for us?
Nulstanana ale uweti uni no hetlan ani jalaki ani gusa ale ani nochi dag tahe agusa sami.
Ost adelo kwaski gehe tojuwa. He was a good student, right? Good learner. Udan don ale ton gawonisk gehe.
Udant, jikesa. Udant ale.
Udant
Ale.
ale to gawonisk
Gese.
gese. Du yukta nole jiyukta gehe. So du yukta is honest, and jiyukta is like honest.
Yeah. Yeah. The right way.
The right way, or straight, straight and narrow kind of. Yeah. Straightforward. Okay. Yeah. So, but real quickly, let's just go back to the do you. We've talked about that. You know, this word is a lot of times referred to when Cherokee people are talking about, you know, the right way to go. You know, I've heard it both at church, Juni Lauste, and Gatillo as well. They talk about do you, know, no here, you know, those kinds of the right road, right? This Jiyukt, can you use that?
Just like the straight and narrow. Have
Yeah,
you ever heard of that?
I have,
That's the same, kind of the same meaning for that.
So how would you say, like when we're, like if we were driving in the car and you were giving me directions and we came to an intersection and you would say, go straight forward, would you use a version of this word? How would you say, go straight forward? Okay.
Just go forward.
Go straight.
Go straight.
Go forward. Okay. So this can also mean moving forward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you could let me think of another. No.
Maybe not. It's the same. To be straight. I just put in Huilonhi because I'm telling you just
to go.
Just go.
Yeah.
So, but you want to say Jiyukta Huilonhi, go forward, go straight.
Okay.
You know, it would mean the same.
Yeah, and that's because whenever we talked about it, and you know, I've read this several times, but when we talked about it today, this Jiyukt, it kind of tickled a memory in my brain about directions, and so I wanted to ask you because you know sometimes my brain tricks me, and so I was like, well, I want to ask her, you know, if you can use it that way, because it seems like I remember hearing it used that way.
It is.
Okay. Sawo iagil chanelsko etskusonelsko tojuwa ani gaduwagi ajisternegesta skadugi didatini donhi gehe. So he became the leader. He was the leader of the Illinois district Katuas, I guess, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. Same. Okay.
The leader.
Nahiyu Tagasa Talagi Aneha. Oh yeah, Ahya Tohi Gehe. There was nahi ujagesa at that time in the past, right? Now, if that word jagesa, nahi, that just means then, right? Yeah, jagesa, and then that jagesa just tells us that it was
Before.
that
Back then.
way back then, yeah, in the past. Then that used to be, right? Talagianeha, where the Cherokees lived, right? Ahiatohi, ahiato.
I can't think of the right word for that, but like aya, that would, like, to me it would be tohi anehe. That was, they lived in peace. Tohi anehe.
Oh, yeah.
But this aya tohi ha, I myself don't know if that means without peace. Aya want. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
I'm
yeah.
thinking maybe that's what it's supposed to mean, but I don't know. But it sounds like, since the English says issues or problems at that time, that might be how you say that.
Maybe, okay. Une guja nanda ne. My favorite sentence.
Nandane.
Outlawry.
What a word.
I know. Salagi ayetli udigale. Oh, udigale yoja geha geha geha. Yeah. Yeah, they were scattered about, right? Don. Oh, this is the one I cannot. Don Kli, huh? Unlena, huh? They started to fight. Undalena. Unad. Undalska. Right.
Undalena. Unadalena. Unadalska.
Unadalska, that's groups, right?
A group.
Unadalska. Undalena.
I can't figure out what that.
Different.
Undalena.
Various.
Undalena. Okay.
Undalena.
Okay. Different groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like various groups.
Hawa.
Yeah. See, as we talk through it, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it starts to kind of okay. Squeezed ani yode gane. Yeah.
Okay.
Kla unel. Oh, yeah. And this unelage elisa yege. This is the one about talking about they weren't allowed to do something, right?
Kla unelagi Elisa yigesa.
Elisa, they thought, is that right? He like Elisa, or couldn't, right?
Yeah, they couldn't. They couldn't. I don't know what the English word is for that. Elisa, you guess. They didn't think about leaving them alone.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. To leave them alone, That makes sense. Yeah. They couldn't leave him alone. Yeah, I guess.
That's what I think is what it means.
Yeah. Ani Yoneg du Doltlasa, the Yoneg government, the white government, who do lihe ahya tosti ani talaki ani they
wanted to
divide
discard it,
divide.
Okay. Udilehe ahya tosti.
Yeah, wanted to divide the Cherokee, where the Cherokees lived.
Okay. Jun Galantoti.
And that's to scatter them, right?
Kind of. It would be like divide too.
Yeah.
Jun Galant. Yeah.
Yeah. Ani Yoneg Dawes Commission uno tlane. The whites made the Dawes Commission, right? Uno tlan. Duni sesti aneha ani Tsalagi. They counted the Cherokees. Is that Duni Sesti? Because D Sest is numbers, right? Duni Sest, they counted.
They numbered them?
They numbered them, yeah. They you know, they counted them, I guess. Duni Sest. Yeah.
Dunisa. It's a different kind of word, but it's the same. Dun setlet.
Oh, yeah, Dun Sest. Yeah, because Tosek is count, right? And Didosek, let's count, right? So, and you said Dun Set. Setlen.
Yeah. Ski Wade. Dun setlet.
Dun Setlen. They counted them. Yeah. Dawes Commission, undule ayetling, unitiste, gadon anitalaki. Okay. Oh, unitiste. Okay, so the Dawes Commission, undule, they wanted, right? Ayetli, in half, right? Unitiste, gadon anitalaki. Wanted to cut it in half, the Cherokee land.
Oh,
Is that-
yes. Undis, yeah, Unity, there's something missing in there. Yes, God don't need to like. Yeah, it's close. Unitiste.
Okay. Gadon unihe negada anita lagi. Oh, okay. Kla ani siya we ha you guess so gadon unihe negada anita lagi. All Cherokees owned the land. Kla ani siya we ha.
You guess.
You guess.
Not one by one.
person.
Yeah.
Not individually, right? Okay. So in this case, it's talking about that they owned.
They all lived on that one area.
Yeah, they all had it together.
Okay.
Right? Is that kind of what it's saying there?
Yeah.
Okay. Anioneg undulihe. Okay, the whites wanted duni ne ti gadon negata anita lagi ane. They wanted to.
Duni nete gato negad.
They wanted to give the land.
To
they wanted
all
to give
Cherokees
it to all
that are there,
that were alive, right? To all living Cherokees. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we're getting close. Nole, duni skoli doti duni skol doti. Oh, nole duni skol doti ani oneg undeti gadon. Then the
they wanted to.
They allowed, and then
they wanted the whites to live on the land too.
Yeah. Just shady, isn't it?
Of course they did.
Naturally, right? All right. Tla yunduliske. They didn't want Anita Laki Yinulstoti. They didn't want. The Cherokees didn't want this to happen.
Yeah, they didn't want it to happen. Cherokees didn't want it to happen.
Nigala Danas Tanuska. Oh yeah, there should be a s in there, right? Nikos Tanuska. When this happened, right? Ani Gatuwagi, the Katuas, Dean Datinehi, Aneliske, Duyukta, Galohisti, Un Kevska. Oh, okay. Una Kevska. They forgot, right? So when this, oh, okay. When this happened, the Katua leaders thought,
They thought.
They had forgotten the right way, right? That they had forgotten the true path, right? Or the straight and narrow path.
Right.
Huh? Yeah. Okay. Une klanahi dun keusa ani liske ani kituwa ani kituwagi. The Kituas thought that God had forgotten them, right? Dun keusa.
Duwa keusa.
Duwa keusa, and then he forgot them, right? Anigayel, the old folks. This Nuniwe Sela. They said this. Tojuhwa Jido Haleta Talagi Iyunatante Jigalo Sohansky. So the old folks told Tojuhwa this, right?
Bring up.
To raise, to lift up, right? Jidohaleta Jalagi
The ways
Iyunatante Jigalo Su.
that is going away.
So to bring up the ways of the Cherokees that were leaving. Is that how you?
That's how I interpret it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Utadanesku, they asked. Didadlosti. Oh, the belts. Galukti. Oh, Galagwodi, the sacred belts, right? Galagwod. Wunesti, to go get them, right? So they asked him to go get the sacred belts. Would you read that sentence for us?
Utadanesku didadlosti galukti wunesti.
Okay. So then they asked him. They also asked him to go and get the sacred belts. That woo at the end, woo at the end. Also, right?
Didadlosti belts galukti wunesti. We do nasty because it's more than one. Yeah.
So they're going to go get more than one. Yes. Bob Ross, do not
Do nurse. Okay.
not Didadlos. Oh, he had them.
Do not
Do not Ploskin, Jujele, Yigese. So Bob Ross had the belts. However,
They
weren't his. Didn't belong to him. Bob Ross udod, John Ross gese. So his father was John Ross. John Ross talagi ugawiyu he gese. He used to be the Cherokee chief. Tojuhwa, the Kinney Waters, Ale Wilson Gertie, una du datle, di dadlosti, we do need nasty. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Tojuwa, Dakini Waters, Ale Wilson Gertie, those are all people's names. They tasked them. They gave them the. How would you translate?
It was their duty.
It was their duty. Die dad lost the belts. We do need nasty to go get it. So it was their duty to go get the belts. Is that how you? Okay. Dakini Waters, di da tini dohi, ajis denige stuska dugi ge saint. Dakini Waters was the leader of the Illinois district. Ale Wilson Gertie, di da tini dohi, nu you he skadugi ge saint. And Wilson Gertie was the leader of the Canadian district. Nuyuhi. I didn't know that word. That was a new one on me.
Really?
But that's the word Nuyuhi Uweyai. That's the name of the Canadian River.
Okay.
So, do you have a translation for that Nuyuhi? I don't know what that means.
No, I couldn't. I can't describe it. I'd have to read it.
Yeah, I didn't. I had to look it up, and then I had to double check.
You didn't get the meaning from the
no. I
the
just
what you read.
They just said that that's the word for the Canadian district and the Canadian River, and because I had asked Melvina, because I thought, well, since she was on council, she might know those words for those districts, you know. So and I said, that's not Canadian district, is it? And she said, yeah, that is, and I said, well, you know, what is it? And she said, the Canadian district. And I said, okay.
But not the word. She didn't know the.
Yeah.
Me, I can't.
Yeah.
I'd like to read, see what it is.
Yeah. Miss Phyllis, do you have any idea what that what that might mean? Other than Canadian district, I mean, but like the literal. It's someplace where something is, right? And
yeah. Knew you.
Whatever knew you is.
Know you can't be like
That's kind of what I thought, yeah. I
But-
thought maybe it had to do with maybe the river was sandy or rocky, or it had something to do with the ground near it or something.
Yeah.
But that's our guess, but
Yeah.
we don't know. All right. Kohig Jagesa, long time ago, the dad lost ani squan goat tana. No, ani squan goat tane uga wiyuhi. So a long time ago, the belts, the chief kept the belts, right?
They were the ones that had to put them up.
Yeah, they cared for them. They
Yeah.
kept them. They put them up. Okay, good.
Kohig together.
Yeah, the belts were kept by the chief. Okay, good. So so we got a little bit farther.
Yeah,
It's an interesting story, I think. Of course, like everybody else, I grew up hearing the word Tojuwa Sequanid and Redbird Smith, but of course knowing some of his descendants, I've heard them speak many times. I've talked to them, but I didn't know that much.
Yeah.
So
A lot of history.
it is. So anyway, so thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate
I
it.
just quickly like what do away.
And we hope you all enjoyed it.